Hello folks, I'm Alex. This is Alex Unabridged. Welcome back to the channel if that is the case. And yes, I've got my editors and publishers hat on today because it's time to announce a new project for Kilter Rammel Publishing, which is my little micropress publishing outfit, if you like, which I set up to publish Trash Tales last year. And I enjoyed Trash Tales so much working on that that I really want to keep going and keep publishing more of your fabulous short stories. So today I am delighted to announce a series of mini anthologies, each of which will contain 5 dark but fun short stories. And this series will be called Fun in the Dark. So yes, each collection in this series will focus on a particular theme, the theme for which will be announced with each call for submissions. There will be 3 releases next year, one on the 1st of April, one on the 1st of July, and one on the 1st of October. And as I say, I will announce the call for submissions for those about 5 to 6 months in advance of publication. If all goes well, there will be further releases into 2027 and beyond, because I have a massive list of ideas for themes for these. So as I say, if all goes well and, you know, people like these anthologies, then they will go on into the future. They will be published in 3 different formats. There will be a print edition available through Amazon because it will be print on demand, and then an ebook which will be available on a number of different platforms, through Kindle, through Kobo, via the Kilter Rammel Gumroad shop as an EPUB, so you could buy it there and then read it on whatever kind of app you want, so Apple Books and any other kind of, you know, independent e-reading apps. I will also make it available on places like Overdrive, so you'll be able to access it through your library membership, things like that. The anthologies will include obviously the 5 selected stories for that edition, plus an editorial introduction from me, extended information about the authors, some, you know, graphic elements, illustrations, you know, nice design stuff, you know, pretty stuff, and additional bonus material as well, which might be one of my own short stories if I've got something that fits that theme that I want to get out there into the world, or it could be content from a guest reader. More on the guest reader in a minute. The third format for publication will be on the Kilter Rammel website, and this will be a kind of simplified version essentially of what goes into the anthology. It will be just the selected stories and just text-based format for those stories, and a short author biography for each author. And this format on the website will be accessible for free for the first 3 months of publication. This was an important kind of aspect of this project for me. You know, the world's a bit rubbish at the moment, isn't it? And I think we all kind of like could use a good bit of fun through fiction, a bit of a distraction, a bit of entertainment, etc. And, you know, I know how much joy I get out of fiction when I really want to kind of just stop thinking about things, other things, existential things for a little while. And I think that everybody should have access to that. And, you know, because things are tough at the moment, that also means they're sometimes tough for folks financially speaking. And I don't want there to be a financial barrier for anyone who wants to access this kind of fun reading material. And so I want to make the stories available for free for the limited time of 3 months from publication. And then they will be replaced by the next story, you know, the next anthology's story, basically. I will make a link to a Kilter Rammel coffee account available on the website for folks who might want to read for free, but might like to donate even the tiniest amount to help support the project on a one-off basis. That is by no means expected or necessary, but I'm going to make that option available for folks who want to use it. All money that I receive from any sales or any donations on this project will go straight back into the future, you know, future expenses for the project. So I am delighted to announce that the call for submissions for the first in the Fun in the Dark series are now live. You can find all of the details on how to submit, etc. on the Kilter Rammel website, but I will go through some of the basics here. The Kilter Rammel website, by the way, I will link in the description. So the theme for this inaugural anthology is transformations. So you can interpret this theme however you'd like. The classic werewolf story would obviously fit right in here, but so would some good, grotesque, fun body stuff. You could play with parasites, experiments gone wrong, weird rituals, or just bonkers, bizarre, mind-bendy stuff. You could go for subtle psychological transformations. They could be fab too, or even huge worldwide societal transformations. It is entirely your choice. Basically, as long as your story speaks to the transformations theme and the overall tone of the series, fun yet dark, then we want to see what you come up with. And the deadline for submissions for this first anthology is the 31st of December 2025. So you've basically got until the end of the year to think up your story and get it written and get it sent to us. So some more particulars on the submissions then, submission process. So in terms of genre, we're kind of open to pretty much anything. As I say, if the story fits the brief of the theme, so transformations, and it's fun but dark, then it will be considered. But for example, you obviously horror is going to be, a big thing for a lot of folks. But also, dark or horror tinged science fiction, dark fantasy, weird fiction, bizarro fiction, dark crime and mystery fiction, genre mashups. Anything goes genre-wise as long as it fits the brief. What won't we accept? We're not looking for extreme horror stories for this project. I've got nothing against extreme horror at all. I enjoy some extreme horror myself, but this just isn't the project for it. So no excessive violence, abuse, gore, things like that in stories, please. We can't accept fan fiction or adaptations unless the source material is public domain, then that's fine. The big one really is that we won't accept any stories written using generative AI. And by generative AI, I mean using something like ChatGPT or Claude to write your story, like the prose of your story. I don't want to read what a computer's written. I want to read what you have created. I want to hear your voice through your writing. I want to see what wild plot ideas you can come up with yourself. You are, of course, absolutely fine to use AI tools, like spell checkers, grammar checkers, things like that. No problem with those. They've been around for ages. Crack on using those, but no generative AI stories, please. Stories should be 2,000 to 5,000 words long. 5,000 words is the absolute maximum. If your story is over 5,000 words, I will return it to you and ask you to cut it down and then resubmit it. They should be accessible, quick blasts of entertainment, basically. I am lucky to have a bit of funding for this project, so I can offer a small fee to accepted writers. That fee will be £20 or 25-ish dollars. That's what it'll work out at for those in the US. And the selected authors will also get one copy of both the print and the ebook editions. This is open to anyone writing in the English language anywhere in the world. We want to see previously unpublished stories only, please. And only one submission per author per anthology. So you could, legitimately enter a different story into each different anthology. That's not a problem, but just one story per author per anthology. Simultaneous submissions are absolutely fine, not a problem at all. So if you've sent your story out to other publishers, that's, we're happy still to look at it, to receive it. But we just ask that authors please do inform us immediately if your story is selected for publication elsewhere, so that we can remove it from our slush pile. So who will be reading your submissions then? Well, obviously me. I am the lead on this project. I'm the editor-in-chief at Kilter Rammel. This project is my baby, if you like. But, I'm only one person. I'm only one mind, and I'm definitely of the opinion that 2 minds are better than 1, and 3 are better than 2, and so on and so forth. So I am stoked to say that I have Lekden from Reading from the Depths joining me for this project. Lekden was fantastic at helping me out with Trash Tales. as a proofreader and also as someone to bounce editorial ideas off. We work brilliantly together, so I'm really looking forward to having him on board with this project, both to help me read through the slush pile and mainly to help with the proofreading and bits of editing and stuff like that. The project will undoubtedly be better for his presence in the editing process. And I mentioned guest readers before. I would love to be able to have a guest reader for each anthology. Someone who can help pick the stories from a shortlisted slush pile and then contribute a little something to the print and ebook versions of the anthology. So that might be an afterwards, that could be a little article, or even a short story of their own. I'm delighted to say that I have the first guest lined up, and that will be none other than the king of fun fiction himself, Olly. So yes, we're getting the Trash Tales band back together for a mini encore. It'll be me, Olly, and Lekden reading the stories for the first of the Fun in the Dark anthologies. So yeah, Olly will be helping to pick the stories and then contributing a little something for the book too. So if you are interested in submitting a story for Transformations, the first in the Fun in the Dark anthology series, then head on over to the Kilter Rammel website and read through the submission guidelines, and I've done a section of questions you might have. So there's plenty of information in there. And if you've got any other questions, do feel free to drop me an email or DM on Instagram, or drop something in the comments on this video, whatever you like. Just get in touch and I'll be happy to answer any other questions you might have. But I think that's all the particulars for the project and the first call for submissions. The only other thing to say is that I've sort of set up various social media accounts, etc., so that I can share this project, obviously, but also, you know, hopefully get a little bit of a network of folks going. I've got an Instagram account and Threads account where I'll be posting regular updates on the project, calls for submissions, all that kind of stuff. And I've also just started a Substack newsletter as well. So it's a bit more of a long form piece where I'll be obviously giving updates on the project, but also writing a bit more about experiences in as a micro press publisher and editor and all that kind of stuff. So if you fancy checking us out on any of the other social media sites, and I will obviously give updates still here on YouTube and everything as well, but if you fancy checking us out on Instagram, Threads, Substack, etc., I've got all of those links set up on a Linktree account. That link is in the description, or you can use the QR code, which should be somewhere around here, and that will take you through to Linktree and you can access whatever you like there. And if any of you out there watching want to help share this project or calls for submissions, please do. It would be greatly appreciated. I want to get as many fab submissions as possible. I'd like us to be spoiled for choice when it comes to selecting stories. And in addition to that, you know, to build a bit of a network for Kilter and Rammel and see what other folks are up to as well. That's kind of how you find out about other projects and what other people are doing. And I'd like to connect with authors and publishers and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to share this anywhere, then please do. It'd be much appreciated. But I think that's it from me today. I think that's plenty of information for one video. As I say, do feel free to get in touch if there's anything that you want to know about the project that isn't covered in any of the bumps that I've got up online. Thank you very much for watching today, folks. I'm extremely excited about this and I hope you're looking forward to it as well. I hope that some of you really consider submitting a story for either the first anthology or, you know, anthologies down the line if this theme isn't your cup of tea. And yes, I will be back with more updates on this project as we get into the process a bit further into the year. But from me, for now, that's ta-ra.